Good morning, Facebook. Grace and peace to you all. 10 years ago, I just found this. It's a journal that I started on. Once I became free, this is the journal that I had way back when. I'd write down different thoughts I'd have. I'd write down different quotes from different people that really inspired me. So today I want to share a couple of these, but also talk about the illusion of control. That idea that somehow, it's weird because we believe that we have control, and it comes from a heart of self-protection, right? It's going to tie in with one of the quotes that I have here by C.S. Lewis. And it's a posture of self-protection because when I am my own, George MacDonald said the greatest lie of hell is I am my own, right? That when we're in autonomy, when we're separated from God, that's how we live. We live in a posture of protection of self. And yet when we are His fully, now we are no longer our own, but we're His, so there's no need for self-protection, right? That's when we can truly become free. Here's just a couple quotes. If we are holding on to things of this world, we can't hold on to God because our hands are already full. Amen? There's nothing more freeing than the world not being about you. The gospel makes it impossible to look down on anybody. Now, C.S. Lewis wrote, God whispers to us in our pleasures, but He shouts to us in our pains. C.S. Lewis also wrote, true humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking about yourself less. Martin Luther wrote, we find no rest for our weary bones unless we cling to the word of grace. Now this is the quote by C.S. Lewis. To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything and your heart might be wrung and possibly broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give it to no one, not even an animal. Wrap it up carefully round with hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in a casket or coffin of your own selfishness. But in that casket, dark, safe, motionless, airless, it will change. It will not be broken. It will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable. To love is to be vulnerable. So that's what happens with us when we really come to the end of ourselves and we experience God's love, or that when we're no longer living our lives in autonomy in that self-centered, self-seeking, self-justifying mode, we become free. So we're set free so we can love other people unconditionally because it's no longer a self-centered, self-seeking, self-protecting route. The illusion of control is believing. There's a blessing that happens when you believe that you're in control and then you realize you're not, right? If you have a child that's gone down the path of addiction and you have no control over that person's life, it can bring you to a place of a beautiful dependence on God, that place of being set free from that bondage of self that you're trying to control your environment, which you can't. It's an illusion. We're all going to suffer. We're all going to struggle. Or if you get the news from a doctor that, you're terminally ill, whatever it is in your life that where you believe that you have control and then all of a sudden that illusion is stripped away. It can bring us to a place of wholeness for the first time in our lives because we're no longer centered in ourselves. Our hope lies in something greater than ourselves. If our hope lies in ourselves, we're going to have a lot of struggles in this life. May you experience the grace and love and mercy of God that'll set you free from that bondage of self, so you're able to truly love unconditionally rather than it being conditional. Because all love that's centered in self is conditional. It's an if-then. If I do this, then I'm expecting this in return because I am my own. We aren't created to be our own. We're meant to be His. When we experience His grace and His love and His mercy, it sets the captive free so we're able to truly love others. May God bless you today. May He set you free from the bondage of self.